Hey Tea Partiers, welcome back to the Celeb Tea Party, your go-to spot for all the hottest celebrity scandals, secrets, and stories behind the glitz and glam. Today, we've got a bombshell for you. Britney Spears just dropped the most explosive testimony of her life, and it's sending shockwaves through Hollywood. If you thought the conservatorship saga was over, think again. Britney stepped into the courtroom recently and went full force exposing not just the dark reality she faced, but also calling out none other than Diddy. Yep, Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Mr. C-Rock himself. This isn't your typical celebrity drama. This is raw, emotional, entangled in years of manipulation, betrayal, and the kind of Hollywood power plays that make you say, wait, what? But before we jump into the tea, a quick heads up, this story touches on some intense and sensitive stuff, so viewer discretion is advised. And if you're new here, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a drop of the juiciest celeb news. Alright, let's rewind for a second to make sure everyone's on the same page. Britney Spears, the princess of pop who dominated the early 2000s, was thrust into a public battle for control over her own life. Most of us remember the headlines, breakdowns, rehab stints, tabloid frenzy, and ultimately, the conservatorship that began in 2008. This legal arrangement put Britney's dad, Jamie Spears, and others in charge of her finances, personal decisions, and even her medical care. For 13 years, Britney lived under a system that many argued was more like a cage than protection. And just last year, after years of the Free Britney movement gaining steam, she finally reclaimed her freedom. But what most people don't realize is the tangled web behind that conservatorship, a network of music, executives, managers, and yes, power players like Diddy, who allegedly played a role in setting the whole thing in motion. Britney's recent testimony peeled back the curtain on how dark and manipulative that world can be. And if you think this sounds like a movie plot, here's a little behind the scenes for you. The conservatorship battle has inspired documentaries, countless podcasts, and sparked discussions about celebrity mental health and legal rights. People are finally questioning the systems meant to protect stars but often trap them instead. Now, let's zoom in on the night that Britney says changed everything. September 8, 2007. That evening, Britney attended a party at Pure Nightclub in Las Vegas, hosted by none other than Sean Diddy Combs. The press and fans assumed it was just a fun celebration with friends, but according to Britney's testimony, it was anything but. Imagine this: the glittering lights of the nightclub, VIP sections packed with celebrities, champagne flutes clinking, cameras flashing, and in the middle of it all, Britney feeling isolated despite the crowd. Britney described how Diddy was too attentive, almost like a puppet master watching her every move. And then came the infamous champagne flute. One drink, she says, was slipped to her, leading to her losing control, memory going fuzzy, and waking up the next day feeling disconnected and tampered with. Here's some context for you. 2007 was a pivotal year for Britney. She was gearing up for her comeback performance at the VMAs after some public struggles. Everyone expected a dazzling return, but what happened instead was a nightmarish performance that was later ridiculed worldwide. And what Britney revealed is chilling. She was pushed to perform even though she wasn't well, that the outfit she was forced to wear was humiliating, and that the entire event was engineered to break her down. Now, here's some extra tea. That night's performance became a media frenzy, spawning endless memes and cruel headlines. But as Britney explained, it wasn't just a bad day, it was a calculated attempt to sabotage her career. And Diddy? According to Britney, he sat watching, smiling through the whole ordeal, fully aware of what was happening. This brings us to the key figures Britney named in her testimony: Lou Taylor, Robin Greenhill, and the mysterious Tristar Entertainment Group. Lou Taylor, Britney said, wasn't just a helper. She was a power player behind the scenes, orchestrating Britney's treatments, managing her finances, and controlling much of her life under the conservatorship. Robin Greenhill, described as Lou's shadow and handler, allegedly handled Diddy's payments connected to some serious sex trafficking accusations. That's a story so wild it almost sounds too much for daytime TV. Tristar Entertainment, the company tying it all together, was allegedly funneling money, controlling legal moves, and keeping Britney trapped in a system she didn't agree to. And Britney pulled a bombshell. Lou Taylor had previously worked with Diddy's label, Uptown Records, meaning these connections go way deeper than anyone expected. This web of relationships paints a picture of an industry that's less about talent and more about control, where powerful figures manipulate stars for profit and power. Speaking of control, ever wonder why some stars seem to disappear from the spotlight, only to return broken and silent? Britney's story offers some clues, and it's not pretty. Now, here's where it gets even darker. Britney revealed that during her conservatorship, she was monitored around-the-clock cameras in her home, messages and calls recorded, and even her Google searches tracked. She talked about black box security, hired by her dad, working hand-in-hand with Tristar and Robin Greenhill to watch her every move, even in her own bedroom. Imagine the feeling of never being truly alone or free, where every word, every glance, every digital footprint is logged and used against you. And the most disturbing part? Britney claims that these recordings were kept as leverage proof to keep her quiet. It's like a twisted reality show, but the star is the prisoner. In fact, she described a specific tape from the 2007 VMA's rehearsal where she broke down, saying, "I can't do this. Something's wrong with me." That footage, she said, was used as evidence against her by her own legal team. This level of control and manipulation is almost unheard of, and Britney's bravery in coming forward is nothing short of heroic. And it's not just Britney. She mentioned other artists caught in similar traps, with secret tapes, backroom deals, and a network of control stretching through the entertainment industry. If this sounds like a conspiracy theory, believe me, it's much more real than most want to admit. And then came the mic drop moment. Britney pulled out a handwritten letter from 2009 that she never got to send. In it, she confronted Diddy directly, accusing him of playing a role in ruining her life and helping them hurt me. She read aloud with raw emotion. "I saw it in your face the night you toasted me before the VMAs. You knew I was being set up, and you smiled." The courtroom went silent. Even Diddy didn't move. This letter wasn't about money or fame. It was about truth. Britney finally telling her side of a story that was hidden from the world for too long. Her final words in court: "I'm not crazy. I was caged. They made me a joke. And now, for the first time, I'm the one being watched." So, what does all this mean? Britney's testimony isn't just about one star's battle, it's a glaring spotlight on the entertainment industry's darkest corners. From conservatorship abuses, to secret recordings, to powerful men manipulating vulnerable women, the system needs accountability. And it's not just Britney. We've seen similar stories from stars like Amanda Bynes, Lindsay Lohan, and even Michael Jackson, who faced invasive control and public breakdowns, often exploited for profit. Britney's courage to speak out might just be the catalyst for real change in how Hollywood treats its stars, mental health, and personal freedoms. And as fans, we have a role to play by staying informed, supporting survivors, and demanding transparency from the industries we adore. Now, before we wrap up, let's connect some dots. Britney's testimony hit just as the Me Too movement continues to expose abuse and exploitation across Hollywood. It echoes stories from actresses like Ashley Judd and Rose McGowan, who bravely spoke out against predators and industry cover-ups. Plus, Diddy himself has recently faced scrutiny over multiple allegations tied to his business network. Britney's revelations add a new layer to those accusations and raise questions about who else might be involved. And on the flip side, we've seen stars like Harry Styles and Billie Eilish speaking openly about mental health struggles and fighting for creative freedom. Britney's story reminds us that even global icons aren't immune to the pressures and pitfalls behind the scenes. So stay tuned, this story is far from over, and the Celeb Tea Party will be right here bringing you every update, every revelation, every twist. Alright, Tea Partiers, now it's your turn. What do you think about Britney's explosive courtroom testimony? Was this the moment justice finally caught up? Do you think Diddy will respond? Drop your thoughts, theories, and feelings down in the comments. I read every single one. If you found this deep dive eye-opening, go ahead and smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring that bell to stay in the loop on all the hottest celeb stories. Thank you for being part of this journey with us. Your support means the world and fuels our mission to bring the real tea right to you. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep sipping that tea at the Celeb Tea Party.